Okay, I've already recorded this video, but we're doing it again because the audio was off for some reason. Anyway, guys, today we're going to be talking about testimonies. I felt to talk about this recently because a lot of people have asked me about my testimony. If you guys don't know, I stream on TikTok and I also post videos on TikTok. I'll leave it up here and linked in the description. But your testimony is important no matter how divine or supernatural it is. Someone came into my chat the other day and said, "Is it okay if I lied about my testimony?" And at first I was like, I mean, it's a little odd, but I guess so. I guess if it converts more people. But then I realized it's pretty unethical and like, it's kind of like disrespectful to God in a way. Like, your testimony is your own. Your testimony is powerful. The reason your testimony is powerful is because no matter what, you are coming out of the other side as a new creation. You start as a non-believing Christian and you come out newborn in Jesus. It says that in the Bible many times. We are reborn through Christ. So your testimony is never bad. Your testimony is never wrong. Your testimony is never lame. Of course, like, you do have those people who have like insane testimonies where they're about to take their own lives. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is Bryce Crawford, if you guys know him. His testimony is he was in a Waffle House going to take his own life, and then God gave him verses that he's never even read before flooding his head. Do I believe that? Yes, of course I believe that. Do I think that's going to happen to everyone? Absolutely not. Bryce was in a very dark place. Bryce was in a place so dark he was going to take his life. Depending on where you are in life, that is how God is going to meet you. God is always going to meet you where you are. So due to where you are in life, that is going to be how much your testimony is affected. Also, if you look at OnlyFans creators, I don't look at OnlyFans like at all, so I don't know their testimonies, but what I do know is like a lot of them say that like they just kind of realize it's gross and disgusting and just kind of come to God through that. So it's not a place of like it's a supernatural thing. You don't have to be depressed to have a testimony. It's always important. Your testimony always matters no matter what. So later in this video, I'll be going to my testimony a little bit as well, but I think it's important we realize every testimony is important. And about lying about your testimony, there's really no reason to do that. I don't think there should be a reason to do that because of what I just said. Your testimony is powerful on its own. I think the reason we do that is because of social media. On social media, all we see is these big, great testimonies like, "Oh, I was doing this, I was falling off a 7,000-foot building and God saved my life." Is it true? Maybe. Is it a lie? Also maybe. But on the other hand, like, it's important we distinguish that just because someone has a cool testimony doesn't mean we have to as well. Social media always highlights the good, guys. It only shows the highlights of people's lives. It never shows the downsides. It never shows the normal testimonies. It is completely normal to just be like, "Oh yeah, I was raised Christian and then kind of just found for myself, this is what I believe." That is completely normal. That is completely fine. But we have this notion due to social media that it's not fine. But like I said, every testimony is powerful. And guys, my testimony is not that powerful. Like, it's not that supernatural, but I will tell you guys about my testimony. Like I said, though, it's not powerful. Basically, it started with me in college at 18. But to give you guys a little bit of background, I have grown up in a Christian home my whole life. Parents are Christian, brother is super Christian, and we always went to church. And at age 14, I was baptized. I never truly believed. That was not a real baptism. Baptism is so much different than what you guys take it as. I can do a whole video on that. You do not need to be baptized again in heaven. Let me know if you want to see a whole video on that. But I was baptized at 14, not even being a full believer, right? My parents forced me to do it, so I did it. From the time I was like 14 getting baptized to the time I was 18 in college, I would consider myself pretty atheist. It was more towards agnostic because like I always had the notion, but like I never acted on it. So it was more towards agnostic, but I would say I was pretty atheist. There were times where I would flat out deny God's existence. I was in very worldly relationships. I was living for the world, was not living for God at all, even though I knew I had a Bible and I knew I would pray sometimes. But I never gave it all to God. I was never saying Jesus is Lord. Never believed in Jesus. God, yes. Jesus, no. So I was still pretty agnostic. And then in college, first day of class, this blonde girl walks in. Immediately, I noticed her. A couple months pass. I didn't say a word until October. I reached out in a DM of Snapchat. I was too scared to talk to her, guys, don't hate. But anyway, we talked a little bit, agreed to hang out, and then I learned over the time of us talking, she was Christian. And I was like, oh, okay, I mean, yeah, that's cool, like my family's Christian, whatever. Now, this is the part where it kind of changes. I would not say I was changing for her, but I would say she got me curious and I looked more into it. We went out a few times, had our fun, and no, not the lustful fun, not that fun. But as I looked into it, coincidentally, as soon as I started looking into the Bible and looking into God and started believing more and more, that is when we started to pull away from each other. That is when we started to fall apart. And we're on good terms, guys. Don't get it twisted. We are on good terms. We are fine personally. All that to say, I was learning on my own. It wasn't because of her. She didn't push anything on me. She just kind of reintroduced me to the idea. So my testimony is literally that I just got simply reintroduced to the idea. It's not something divine, it's not something magical, it's just something that happened. I think God put her in my life for a reason, and I think I was in her life for a reason. I'm not sure what my reason was in her life, but I know the reason she was in my life is so I could actually find God and give it all to God. That same year is when I started reading the Bible. I read very little bits. I would read like 5 to 10 verses a day, if even. It took me about 6 months to finish the entirety of Psalms. That's not a powerful testimony. That's not that powerful. There's no divine intervention. There's no supernaturality to it. It's literally just a simple testimony. Like, someone introduced me to the idea and I kind of liked it for myself. And I'm still out here living for the kingdom and putting in works for God. There's nothing that you need to have a super powerful testimony. You do not need a super powerful testimony. I would own your testimony, guys. It's your testimony. Everyone is different. God still loves you either way. So why not just own the testimony he gave you? Of course, some people have really cool testimonies, but also, of course, like, it's your testimony. It's personal to you. And at the end of the day, you're still of Christ now. The beauty of it is not your testimony. It's because you started here and then you came out as a new creation through Christ. That's the beauty of it, guys. So that's all for this video. I hope this video helps you guys. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.